While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign.
While I concede this election, I do not concede the fight that fueled this campaign. Kamala Harris is giving her first public statements after Donald Trump's triumph in the 2024 United States presidential election. The Democratic candidate went to the stage in Washington, D.C., at her alma mater, Howard University, on November 6th. As she started her address, Harris explained to the audience the reasons why her heart was so full. "My heart is full today, full of gratitude for the confidence you have put in me, full of love for our nation, and full of commitment. The result of this election is not what we want, what we worked for, or what we voted for. It defies all of our expectations. But hear me when I say, the light of America's promise will always burn bright as long as we never give up and as long as we keep fighting." She went on to convey thanks for her loved ones and everyone who was part of the campaign. "The love that I have for my cherished Doug and the rest of our family is immeasurable. To President Biden and Dr. Biden, thank you for your faith and support. To Governor Walz and the Walz family, I know your devotion to our country will continue. And to my outstanding team, to the volunteers who gave so much of themselves, to the poll workers and the local election officials, I thank you all." Harris said that she's very proud of the campaign they ran and the manner they did it, and recognized the spectrum of views surrounding the election outcomes. Over the 107 days of this campaign, we have been purposeful about creating community and forging coalitions, bringing people together from every walk of life and background, joined by love of country, with passion and pleasure in our battle for America's future. And we did it with the awareness that we all have so much more in common than what divides us. Now, I realize individuals are feeling and experiencing a variety of emotions right now. I got it. But we must respect the outcome of this election. Earlier morning, I called with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his win. I also informed him that we would aid him and his staff with their transition, and that we will participate in a peaceful transfer of power. Harris went on to reveal that she would continue to fight for the principles that inspired her campaign: the struggle for freedom, for opportunity, for justice, and the dignity of all people. A fight for the ideals at the center of our country, the ideals that embody America at its finest. That is a struggle I will never give up. I will never give up the battle for a future where Americans may follow their goals, ambitions, and aspirations, where the women of America have the ability to make choices about their own bodies and not have their government dictating them what to do. We will never give up the struggle to safeguard our schools and our neighborhoods from gun violence. In America, we will never give up the struggle for our democracy, for the rule of law, for equal justice, and for the precious principle that every one of us, no matter who we are or where we start out, has certain basic rights and freedoms that must be recognized and preserved. Harris then delivered this message to all of the young kids watching. It is all right to feel sad and upset, but please know it's going to be okay. On the campaign, I would frequently declare, when we fight, we win. But here's the thing, here's the problem. Sometimes the struggle takes long. That doesn't mean we won't win. The main thing is, don't ever give up, don't ever stop trying to make the world a better place. You have power. You have power, and don't you ever listen when somebody says something is impossible, because it has never been done before. Harris further stressed her perspective for the route ahead. You have the power to accomplish incredible good in the world, and therefore, to everyone who is watching, do not despair. This is not a moment to throw up our hands. This is a moment to roll up our sleeves. This is a moment to organize, to mobilize, and to remain active for the sake of freedom and justice and the future that we all know we can create together. Look, many of you know I started out as a prosecutor, and throughout my career I saw people at some of the worst times in their lives. People who had suffered great harm and great pain, and yet found within themselves the strength and the courage and the resolve to take a stand to fight for justice, to fight for themselves, to fight for others. So let their bravery be our inspiration. She finished her lecture by offering a strong proverb as a message of positivity. The proverb is, "Only when it is black enough can you see the stars." I know many people feel that we are approaching a dark moment, but for the sake of us all, I hope that is not the case. But here's the thing, America. If it is, let us fill the sky with the light of a beautiful, glorious billion of stars. The light of hope, of faith, of truth, of service. And may that labor lead us, even in the face of setbacks, toward the great potential of the United States of America.